What happens when Ford takes America's most famous muscle car and gives it the Raptor treatment? A lifted Mustang, all-wheel drive, long travel suspension, and potentially a V8 designed to attack the desert. The Mustang Raptor may sound crazy, but Ford's off-road revolution is making this idea harder to ignore. 2. Introduction. The Ford Mustang has spent decades being associated with pavement, drag strips, road courses, highways, and smoky rear tires. But Ford's Raptor family changed the company's idea of what a performance vehicle could be. The F-150 Raptor proved that a pickup could be extremely fast off-road. The Bronco Raptor took the same philosophy to an SUV. And now comes the question enthusiasts have been asking. Could the Mustang be next? Reports of a Mustang Raptor first gained serious attention several years ago, with speculation pointing toward a lifted, all-wheel drive Mustang equipped with off-road suspension and all-terrain tires. Car and driver plus one. More recently, Ford CEO Jim Farley has spoken about expanding Ford's performance and off-road portfolio, while a separate report says Ford is working on a production version of a Mustang-engined Raptor off-road racer. So let's separate the confirmed facts from the speculation, and imagine what a production Mustang Raptor could actually become. Ford builds it. The Mustang Raptor cannot simply look like a Mustang with bigger tires. The entire visual attitude would have to change. Imagine a wider stance, increased ground clearance, heavily flared wheel arches and aggressive all-terrain tires. The front bumper would likely need greater approach clearance, while substantial underbody protection would be essential for serious off-road driving. Earlier reporting on the rumored Mustang Raptor described a potential 2-inch suspension lift, all-terrain tires, bespoke suspension components and underbody bash plates. And the result would be something we have never really seen from the Mustang. Instead of crouching close to the road, the car would stand tall. Instead of a low front splitter, you'd expect a more rugged lower front end. Instead of road-focused tires, you'd have rubber designed to survive dirt, rocks and loose surfaces. The rear would probably receive its own aerodynamic and protective changes. And, naturally, the Raptor name would need to be visible. But remember, none of these Mustang Raptor design details have been officially confirmed by Ford. Interior. Inside, the basic Mustang cabin would provide a strong foundation. The current 2026 Mustang already offers a modern digital cockpit, performance-oriented seating and a driver-focused layout. Ford's official 2026 lineup includes multiple Mustang configurations, from EcoBoost models to the GT and Dark Horse family. https://www.ford.com/+1. A Raptor version would likely need some additional touches. Expect the possibility of more durable upholstery, unique Raptor graphics, contrast stitching and stronger bolstering to keep occupants secure when the car is bouncing across rough terrain. A steering wheel with a distinctive center marker would also make sense for an off-road performance car. But there's one major practicality issue. A Mustang is still a relatively low, two-door sports coupe. Even with a lift, it wouldn't suddenly become an SUV. Rear seat space would remain limited, and cargo flexibility would never match something like a Bronco. And that's actually part of the appeal. The Mustang Raptor would be an off-road sports car, not an SUV pretending to be one. 5. Technology. Technology could be one of the Mustang Raptor's biggest advantages. The current Mustang already has a highly digital cockpit and selectable drive modes. A serious Raptor version would need software specifically designed for off-road driving. Think about the possibilities. A dedicated Baja mode could sharpen throttle response and alter transmission behavior. A rock crawl setting could prioritize low-speed control. An off-road mode could modify traction and stability systems. And an advanced drive mode system could potentially coordinate the suspension, steering, throttle and all-wheel drive system. Ford already uses selectable modes such as normal, sport, tow, haul, slippery, off-road, Baja and rock crawl on the F-150 Raptor. Bringing that philosophy into a Mustang would make the car dramatically different from any Mustang before it. And then there's the suspension. That's where the real magic could happen. 6. Engine and performance. This is the section where we have to be extremely careful. There is no confirmed Mustang Raptor engine specification from Ford. Earlier reporting suggested that a potential Mustang Raptor could use the Mustang's 5.0-liter Coyote V8, paired with a 10-speed automatic and all-wheel drive. But that remains reported information, not an official specification. For reference, the actual 2026 Mustang GT produces 480 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque, or 486 horsepower and 418 pound-feet with the available active valve performance exhaust. The 2026 Dark Horse produces 500 horsepower and 418 pound-feet. And the Extreme Dark Horse SC reaches 795 horsepower and 660 pound-feet from a supercharged 5.2-liter V8. So Ford has plenty of powertrains available within the Mustang family. But the Raptor's priorities would be different. Off-road performance isn't simply about horsepower. It requires suspension travel, traction, cooling, durability and controlled power delivery. A 500 horsepower Mustang with the right suspension could be much more capable in the desert than a 700 horsepower car designed exclusively for pavement. 7. Driving experience. This could be the reason to build the Mustang Raptor. Imagine taking a Mustang onto a dirt road at speed. The suspension compresses. The rear end moves around. The tires dig into loose gravel. And instead of slowing down, the car keeps going. That is the Raptor philosophy. Ford's existing Raptor models use sophisticated Fox suspension technology. The F150 Raptor, for example, uses Fox live valve shocks and dedicated off-road drive modes including Baja and Rock Crawl. A Mustang Raptor would need to translate that philosophy to a unibody sports coupe. And that is the engineering challenge. The Mustang's wheelbase, overhangs, low body and basic architecture weren't originally designed around high-speed desert running. Engineers would need to strengthen the suspension and chassis while maintaining acceptable road manners. If they get it right, the Mustang Raptor could feel completely unlike a normal Mustang. On pavement, it could be surprisingly comfortable. On dirt, it could become a weapon. 8. Safety. A vehicle designed for high-speed off-road driving needs more than conventional sports car safety systems. The suspension and chassis need to survive severe impacts. Underbody protection needs to shield critical components. And electronic stability systems need to work with the driver rather than constantly fighting the car. The current Mustang already offers modern driver assistance and safety technology, but a future Raptor would need additional consideration for its unique operating environment. And there's an important point. No electronic system can make an off-road car invincible. High-speed desert driving requires training, judgment and an appropriate environment. 9. Reliability and ownership. This is another area where speculation needs to be separated from fact. There is currently no official Mustang Raptor warranty, maintenance schedule or long-term reliability record because there is no confirmed production Mustang Raptor in Ford's current U.S. lineup. If Ford does build one, ownership could be more expensive than a normal Mustang. Off-road use puts additional stress on tires, suspension components, wheels, brakes, underbody protection, steering components, cooling systems, and high-performance all-terrain tires aren't cheap. But the biggest advantage could be durability. If Ford truly gives the Mustang Raptor the Raptor treatment, the vehicle would need to be engineered for repeated punishment, not simply occasional dirt road driving. 10. Competitor comparison. This is where the Mustang Raptor becomes fascinating. There really isn't a direct competitor. The Porsche 911 Dakar showed that a legendary sports car can be transformed into an off-road machine. The Lamborghini Huracan Sturato took a similar approach with a lifted supercar designed for loose surfaces. And Ford already has the Bronco Raptor for customers who want serious off-road capability in an SUV. But the Mustang Raptor would combine these concepts differently. It would be an American muscle car with Raptor engineering. That could make it one of the strangest, and potentially most entertaining, performance cars on the market. 11. Pros and cons. Pros. Unique concept. Very few performance cars combine muscle car heritage with serious off-road capability. Potential V8 power. A 5.0-liter Coyote V8 has already proven itself in the Mustang family. Potential all-wheel drive. Would dramatically improve traction on loose surfaces. Raptor suspension technology. Could transform the Mustang's off-road capability. Extreme personality. This would be unlike almost anything else on the road. Everyday Mustang foundation. It would retain the Mustang's recognizable identity. Cons. Not officially confirmed. Ford's current 2026 Mustang lineup does not include a Raptor. Potentially expensive. Reports have suggested a price around $90,000 or more, but this is not an official Ford figure. Heavy engineering challenge. Turning a sports coupe into a high-speed off-roader is complicated. Limited rear seat practicality. It remains a Mustang coupe. Potentially expensive tires and suspension maintenance, especially for owners who actually use it off-road. 12. Buying advice. Should you buy a Mustang Raptor? Right now, you can't, at least not as an officially confirmed production Ford. If your priority is traditional Mustang performance, the 2026 Mustang GT or Dark Horse are real options today. Ford currently lists the GT from $47,795 and the Dark Horse from $64,080 in the US. But if you're waiting for something completely different, the Mustang Raptor is worth watching. Especially because Ford's recent statements suggest the company is continuing to invest heavily in performance and off-road vehicles. The 2026 Ford Mustang Raptor is one of those automotive ideas that sounds completely ridiculous until you think about it. Ford has already proven that Raptor can transform ordinary vehicle categories into serious performance machines. The F-150 did it. The Bronco did it. And now Ford's broader performance strategy is creating even more room for unconventional ideas. A lifted Mustang with all-wheel drive, long travel suspension, all-terrain tires and V8 power could be one of the most entertaining cars Ford has ever built. But for now, we need to call it what it is. A highly intriguing possibility, not a confirmed 2026 production model. If Ford eventually puts a Raptor badge on the Mustang, it won't just create another trim. It could create an entirely new category. The desert muscle car. And honestly, that's a Mustang I'd love to see. If you enjoyed this review, subscribe for more future cars, performance vehicles, Mustang news and automotive technology. And tell me in the comments, would you buy a Mustang Raptor, or should the Mustang stay on the pavement?